It is 12:59. Good afternoon. I'm Lucas Panzica. Short week for the Tennessee Titans preparing for Thursday night football in Nissan Stadium against the San Francisco 49ers. Julio Jones, David Long, and Taylor Lewan did not practice on Monday. Roger Saffold did return as a full participant along with defensive lineman Tier Tart and cornerback Jack Rabbit Jenkins. More good news, the Titans designated A.J. Brown and Chris Jackson to return to practice, both eligible to come off of IR before Thursday. The team also placed defensive back Elijah Molden on the COVID list. Titans head coach Mike Vrabel set to speak to media here in just a few moments. Hear it live right here on Blaine and Mickey. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Blaine and Mickey, 104.5 The Zone. Boy, Santa Claus getting a sled packed, y'all. It is it's getting close to Christmas time, 21st of December. It does not seem like that to me. I will just start the show with that.
It's the 21st?
It's the 21st of December. I got pulled over yesterday on the way home in a school zone for going above 15.
Mickey, you got pulled over?
I got pulled over on the way home yesterday.
The man who runs the letter of the law.
Yes.
So how fast were you going?
28.
Oh, Mickey, that's way over. 15?
There was no school. So I see the policeman turn around in the road, and I get over. I'm thinking, well, I'm going to let him chase after because people are driving like crazy in front of me.
Oh, man.
Oh, no, he pulls me over. So he pulls me over at this gas station.
No blinking lights. No, school's not in, right?
No. Well, the light was blinking, but there's no school. It's designed to blink Monday through Friday at a certain time, so it does, it blinks.
It was blinking. Yeah, okay.
And so he pulled me over, and I said, and he gets out of the car, I said, hey, man, I got to ask you, it's a great mystery. Can I ask you why you pulled me over? I mean,
mystery.
And he goes, yeah, you're speeding through a school zone. I said, I'm aware I drove through a school zone, but there's no school today. And he's like, how do you know that? I said,
whoa,
it's the 20th of December. School is out. I know I drove.
My kid goes to school in this area.
Yes. And he goes, well, I'm going to need to confirm that. I said, you can look at the school. There's nobody there. You can look at the parking lot. There's nobody in it. It's the 20th of December. He's like, I need to see your license.
Oh, I wish you would have went H-Town Mickey on him.
I almost did. But I almost did.
So what happened? Tell me that. Man, I'm shocked.
So I'm starting to sweat right now just thinking about it. And I said, there's nobody at the school. I'm aware of where I was driving. I take this. Where are you coming from? I said, I'm coming.
What does that matter?
I said, I'm coming from work. And he said, I need to see your license. And do you have any insurance? I said, yeah, man, I've got insurance, and here's my license. He goes, I'm going to have to confirm all this. I'm going to have to confirm there's no school. I said, it's the 20th of December, man. And he goes, I don't have kids in this district. And I said, what district is in school right now? And so he goes to his car and comes back, and he's like, I'm going to let you off with a warning this time. I said, look, I appreciate this, but there's no school. Well, I was able to confirm that. So I'm going to let you go with a warning.
He went back to his car?
Have a nice day. Yes, he went back to his car to confirm there was no school.
Yep, man. You can't go 28 in a no driving over 15 miles per hour in a no school zone when there's no school.
Okay.
Well, watch how fast Vrabel does his press conference.
Speaking of that, Mike Vrabel live right now. A little bit odd for his Tuesday press conference. It's a condensed week. Here's the Titans head coach. Maybe he's gotten pulled over today.
Sometimes poor ball security. Quarterback center exchange. It gets kicked. The quarterback's going to pick it up. It gets kicked. The ball, the ball, I told the team the ball's not round. We don't know which way it's going to bounce. We got to do everything we can to take care of it. Sometimes they make a good play. Sometimes, it's our own doing.
Guys maybe sometimes are trying to press, trying to do too much. I know you're big on telling guys just to do their job. Or do you find that guys maybe sometimes are trying to do too much in those situations?
Like gain yards? I'm not sure what you're talking about.
They're just trying to make a play and
ask me which one you're talking about, and I'll explain it because I can go through them and Ferkser catches a pass on third down, drop steps, ball's loose, they knock it out. You know, Racey's coming around trying to get a catch and run. He's on top of the guy. You know, Ryan and Ben are always trying to make a play. The ball went on the ground. So, I mean, we can keep going. I don't know if that's making a play or not. Like, just poor ball security.
You guys have been talking a lot about the defense outplaying the opposing defense. How did that kind of come to be a theme? And are you telling the offense the same thing? That the offense has to outplay the other offense?
Which one do you want me to answer first?
Both, please. How did the defensive thing come to be a theme?
I don't, because that's the way I would explained it and try to, you know, focus that week. And you know, when I think that you know, it'd be a challenge for our defense. It's something that you probably want to do all the time. You know what I mean? I think it's just a mentality, and I appreciate where our mentality is right now defensively. To go out there and stop them wherever the ball is. That's just kind of what you have to do, and I think that's the hallmark of the best defenses is they can go out there. They hop up off the bench. I mean, it sucks. It sucks when you turn the ball over. I've been out there as a player and watching it as a coach, and our guys didn't flinch. They ran out there. You know, hopefully they don't have to do that, and hopefully we can find a way to get some turnovers ourselves.
Is the offensive mentality the same? Or is
The offensive mentality is to score as many points as we can and try to take care of the football.
Made the Niners run game so efficient no matter who they're plugging in there.
It's a really good scheme. I think that the offensive line does a great, fantastic job. They're well coached. I think that their tight ends block well. They're very sudden players. Juszczyk is a sudden player who can work his way one way, come back the other way, is willing to block. He acts as a runner, like he has the football, and so he's kind of finding the hole. They mix in Samuel, Mitchell, Wilson. Good scheme. They attack you at all different levels, zone, gap scheme, misdirection. So they do a fantastic job.
How big of an asset is Deebo Samuel for all the different ways that they do use him?
I mean, he's a very physical player who's a strong runner once he has the football in his hand, and Kyle and his staff do a fantastic job of creating those and getting them the football.
Buffalo's success has been a part of the reason they've won 5 out of 6.
Well, he's taking care of the football. He's been accurate. Seems to be in command of everything that they're doing, and he's playing well. He's got a very good completion percentage, and they're number 1 in the red zone.
Fred Warner, what jumps out to you about him in the middle of their defense?
It's tough to trick guys like that. It's tough. He's really seen a lot, and it's tough to trick him. He's rarely out of place. He's a sure tackler. He's a good blitzer. They put him, involve him in third down. Very versatile player, and he can run.
With David, I guess David Long missed a number of weeks and hasn't gone IR. Is there advantage to keeping him on the 53, or how does that?
No, I just, kind of you get down the road where you think that not putting a timeline on any injury, you're not really sure, So, we've been able to, manage the roster, without having to put him on an injury reserve.
6 weeks is a significant marker for the kind of surgery that Derek had. Has he transitioned into a different sort of stage now?
Still just rehabbing.
Like you mentioned, you're going to see AJ out here and see where he's at. Where's your feel on, at this point, your optimism for Thursday?
I'm optimistic on all these guys that, enter into the return to play. Now see how they respond to what we ask them to do. It's a difference to go out there and practice as it is to go out there and, be in the game. But, using, Bud as an example last week, he had a good week of practice, and I think built confidence and, was able to help us on Sunday.
He respond after the game, and your work you did yesterday.
He was excited, and he was into it, and helped us on Sunday. Now we'll have to new challenge this week, new opponent.
Julio feel yesterday, and is he kind of in the same spot as those guys returning to play, or where would you put him right now?
Well, we'll see. We'll see how he does in practice and what he's able to do, and we'll probably take it down to game time.
Has there been a secret to the success of being able to get guys in here on the fly, like Cunningham last week and like Foreman and Hilliard a few weeks ago, screen and getting those guys up to speed quickly and they're able to make big contributions?
Well, I mean, I think it helps to have guys that are willing and hungry. Deontay, Dontrell, and Buster were out of work. So it's called survival. They've tasted and they wanted to be active. They didn't have a job. So now that they've got one, they're not in a real big hurry to give it up. But they worked extremely hard. The coach, give the coaches credit, but obviously it's on the player to go out there and be able to translate all those meetings and the walkthroughs and the things that we do to get them ready, to translate it to the game.
Titans head coach Mike Vrabel, again, a little bit out of sorts with their normal schedule. Normally we wouldn't get him live on a Tuesday. We missed the very first part of when he started speaking. This was from Jim Wyatt. He tweeted, A.J. Brown, this is from Vrabel, A.J. Brown will be part of walkthrough today. The team will try and get try to get him some speed, he said during the week. Determination on his status for Thursday will come later in the week. Said about Julio, probably will come down to a game-time decision for him as well, just monitoring those situations. He actually said that, so we heard that part. We're set to have a Titan, D'Onta Foreman, going to join us today before practice. That should be next as we talk to the Titans running back here on Blaine and Mickey 104.5 The Zone. Blaine and Mickey, 104.5 The Zone. D'Onta Foreman set to join us here in just a minute. The Titans running back. We'll speak to him. He's had some really nice weeks. Had another nice week for the Titans against the Steelers. The ground game as a whole had a fantastic game against the Steelers. Unfortunately, there were some fumbles and miscues, and turnovers bit this team in the butt again. It's interesting because the coordinators spoke last night via Zoom to Titans reporters, and Jim White had tweeted out this quote from Todd Downing about the run game. He said, "I felt like we stuck with the run pretty well on Sunday. We were committed to it throughout the game, got behind the chains some, and had to throw it." I don't know, man. I don't know about that. I think throwing kind of puts you behind the chains.
That's why we're going to Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill is speaking live right now. Until we hear from D'Onta Foreman, why don't we check in live with the Titans quarterback from St. Thomas Sports Park?
Practicing it and really carry it over into Sundays, or Thursday in this case.
Of those turnovers, like for you, the interceptions, is there any common theme to them? I know each of them have a different story, but is there something in common that's happening?
No, I don't think so. I think at the end of the day, just have to be smart with the ball and put it in a good spot.
Could get AJ back possibly. What would that mean for you, a guy that's probably a guy you trust the most out there, right?
Yeah, I have a ton of confidence in AJ. We'll see, if he ends up going or not. I hope he can, obviously for selfish reasons, but no, he's battling back from a tough injury. He's doing everything he can to get back on the field. So obviously a big weapon for us, and if we can get him back, we'd love that.
And what does that do for the passing game, just to have him active and the defense to have to account for him?
Well, I think first and foremost is his ability to make plays. You look at, what he's done for us over the past few years and the confidence that we have together, and just the plays that he's made have been, some of them, spectacular. So to have that ability on the field and that confidence from the offense would be huge.
The defense has been talking about a weekly goal of outplaying the opposing defense. But when you guys are turning the ball over as much as you are, is that too tall an order or expectation for them if you're turning over 4 times and they're thinking they need to get it 5 times?
Well, at the end of the day, we just got to take better care of the ball on offense. Defenses are playing their tails off, doing a great job, keeping us in the game last week when we put ourselves in a bad situation. So at the end of the day, we just got to keep moving the ball but take better care of it.
As you look back at the film from Sunday, looking ahead to Thursday, beyond the turnovers, what wasn't happening in the passing game?
We had some shots downfield that we weren't able to connect on, so that hurt us. But we ran the ball extremely well, which we have been doing. Have to continue that and finish in the red zone. You look at some drives we had and we're going, and then either turn the ball over or we stalled out a couple times in the red zone. So whenever you're putting drives together and getting down there, we need to come away with 7s.
Confidence that you and AJ have, obviously he's not out there, so what is it that you've been able to do to kind of maintain that confidence, or kind of like cockiness, as far as some of the tight window throws that you used to make and some of the attempts that you're making now? How do you maintain that confidence to do that?
Yeah, I just think, are you speaking to AJ or just in general?
I'm speaking about you, and not to him, but just in general, yeah.
Yeah, just try to trust my guys, even though maybe some different guys out there, try to trust my guys and keep firing. You can't play this position and be hesitant or second guess what you're seeing. You have to be able to see what you see and make a quick decision and throw the football.
Let's pick up where it left off, maybe in camp or when you first played with him against the Texans. How quickly did that come back with AJ?
I have so many reps with AJ, over the course of the past couple of years. There's a ton of confidence there, obviously, love to get him back. Hopefully it's this week. We'll see. But, yeah, just the banked reps there are deep, so we can pull from that, as we move forward.
Much time standings watching and playing the what-if game?
If you play that game, you're going to be in a bad position. You're going to have to go out and play the game to win. And that's my mindset and our mindset is to do everything we can to prepare this week mentally and physically to put ourselves in a good position to go execute and play well and come away with a win on Thursday night.
The guys that, being out of the lineup and sometimes, turnovers, do you ever have to guard against pressing and trying to do too much in the course of a game to kind of change the way things are going?
Yeah, I think, not so much to not having the normal guys out there. But I think, if things aren't going well, you want to make a play. So definitely have to just be conscious of that and take it one play at a time and just try to execute your job one play at a time.
What kind of problems does Fred Warner pose in their defense?
He's a heck of a player. He's flying around. He's physical. He's fast. He's making the adjustments. You see him, getting everyone lined up. It's a fast defense. Their front is flying around. Fred is flying around on the second level, making tackles. If you don't block him, he's probably going to make the tackle. We faced a number of guys that had that kind of quality this year, and he's definitely one of them. Where if you don't get hands on him and sustain the block, then he's probably going to be in on the tackle.
And to kind of create productive drives when you haven't been real consistent on the mid-range and the longer passes, you have to keep 10, 11, 12 play drives to score all the time.
Yeah, it just takes more execution, right? If it takes you 12 plays to get down there, then it's a lot more plays, a lot more chances for either the other side to make a play or for yourselves to have a mistake. So that's kind of the game you play.
Ryan, why do you think you guys have kind of been so successful up front, like in terms of the run game, right? We've seen you guys get going in the run game, but in the past, up front, it's just a completely different story. Why do you think there's been such a big contrast?
I can't say exactly why that's the case, but I know our guys have a ton of confidence in the run game. They're physical. They want to get downhill. It's something that we have obviously a ton of reps on and rep every day, just like we do the pass. But I can't say why the one is more successful than the other.
The deep.
Titans quarterback Ryan Tannehill meeting with the press, so he's live at St. Thomas Sports Park. Let's take a live phone call from there now as we're joined by Titans running back D'Onta Foreman. Deontay, how in the world are you doing, man? How's the ankle feeling?
It's feeling good. A little sore, a little tight, but man, just taking it day by day. I should be fine.
I got to ask you this. At one point, they were putting another layer of tape on you. How many layers of tape deep were you by the end of that contest?
I was about 3 layers deep. Yeah.
I mean, is it getting a little snug by that time? It just looked like a lot going on.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely tight by that time, man. The tape was really tight, but it definitely helped me going back in the game for that 4th and 1, man. I knew that was a big play and that we needed to have that, so I definitely wanted to be on the field and to try to help the team, get that first down and try to help us, win the game.
You've had some really good games, really career games this year. What all has gone into your success as you stepped right back onto this Titans roster and just started producing again?
Just first of all, being blessed to have an opportunity like this, and then also just trying to capitalize on my opportunities, and just help this team. I mean, I'm very thankful for the opportunity that I'm having here right now with the Titans, and I just want to show my gratitude by going out there playing hard every day, giving them my all, and just trying to do everything I can to help us win.
Well, 3 layers of tape, man, and just kept on trucking out there on Sunday. It was fun to watch. D'Onta Foreman, our guest here on Blaine and Mickey. You can follow him on Twitter at D33_Foreman. We'll get you there.
Yes, Mr. Foreman, Blaine Bishop here, man. You know what? I'm not surprised. Last year, I thought you did a heck of a job running the football. And then this year, no surprises either. But, man, I was shocked that you was there and available. Were you surprised that you were available and not on a roster?
Yeah, I definitely was. But, at the end of the day, with this business, you just never know, man. So the biggest thing is just always staying ready, just staying, in shape and ready to go. You never know when that call is going to come. Like I've always been saying, man, God is great. He's blessed me tremendously with this opportunity, and I just want to do my part and take advantage of it.
Well, you definitely are doing your part. You gave out some punishment, took a little punishment on the ankle, man. I went back and watched that. It looked like your foot was flat down on the ground with your ankle touching on the inside. I was like, oh man, you got a lot of flexibility there, man. Short week, man. Take us through like a normal week of what you go through as a running back to prepare for the next game, and then how much that changed with a short week.
So basically, just a lot of treatment. I'm pretty much in the treatment room every day. Just trying to make sure that, we get all the nicks and bruises and, whatever else is bothering me at that time. Just try to, minimize them as much as we can. I mean, nobody's going to be 100% around this time of year.
Right.
But as much as I can try to, get my body as healthy as possible, that's what I try to do. So, it's definitely beneficial when we have a full week to do it. But, with it being a short week, I just got to go in there and just try to definitely take care of the ankle, make sure the ankle is ready to go. But also just, other little nicks and, things that's nagging on me, got to take care of that too. So we got to be ready to go.
Man, I got to ask you, are you a hot tub or a cold tub guy?
I'm definitely more of the hot tub guy. I'm not really too good with the cold tub, but actually it's crazy because yesterday was my first time getting in the cold tub all year, and I felt like I just really needed it.
Hello? And he needed to go after somebody hung him up.
He may be out there.
He's still there?
Okay.
Mr. Foreman.
We got some new equipment here, and it's
Oh,
acting a
my.
little crazy. He may be gone now. Okay.
Oh, man.
Just things going
he
on.
He wasn't a cold tub, but he did say he did the cold tub last week. That was the most important. That's why he ran so well.
Isn't it funny, though? You asked him that, he immediately started to laugh. People hate the cold tub. They love what it does for them, but they hate. Okay, we have D'Onta Foreman back on the line. D'Onta, you were telling us Blaine is the biggest cold. He could sell cold tubs. Like if there's a company that sells cold tubs, he could be their sales rep. But you were getting a little bit into that.
Yeah,
before
because
we
I
had
never
our
did
trouble.
the cold tub until training camp my rookie year, and I was like, I have no other choice. And my body was just knotted up all over the place, and I was just like, put my whole body in there. And then once you kind of get used to it, you get a little timer. Once you make it past 2 minutes, you can stay in there for the allotment of 10 minutes. But it's always interesting because people don't understand. I was doing it every day. That's how you play a long time. And some guys can, they go the different route and do just, the hot tub, like right before practice, get everything loosened up and warm.
Yeah, I'm definitely the hot tub guy. But this week was different for me because I wanted to, just do everything I could to make sure my body's ready to go for the short week. So actually, yesterday was my first time getting in the cold tub all year, and I'll be in the cold tub some more today just to make sure that I'm ready to go.
All right, man. I know you've been here 2 different times. This is the second go round, but I'm gonna ask this question just in general: is do you know the entire offense now? And when Tannehill makes a check, and how often does he check? And you go, "Oh man, he checked this run to me. I can't wait to go because it might have been a pass call." Do you smile? Do your eyes get big or something? All these little cheats. Us defenders, we try to see all that stuff.
Yeah, man, anytime my number's being called, man, I'm excited. But also, I'm excited to just be a part of the game, be in the game. So, whatever play is being called, like, man, I'm just so grateful and so thankful to even be able to play and be on the field and, just do this. I've been hurt, a lot of times through my career. So, just being able to have this opportunity, man, I'm just so thankful to even be out there. So whether my number's being called or not, I just want to go out there and, put my best foot forward to help the team.
Well, I've never asked this question, man. I got to ask you because there's been some times, I put on some good hits, and, boy, there's been some times I got knocked what out. So I want to ask you, who are some of the guys you go, hey, man, he brings the wood. I better have my A game or he may get me.
Man, I can't really say. I mean, I haven't really actually. I haven't really had one of those moments yet. I think I'm thankful for that, man. I think I try to do more of the delivering the punishment than receiving it. So, some people. I mean, I've had a lot of hard tackles. I mean, game tackles and stuff like that. But just one-on-ones, nah, I can't really say anybody.
All right. Well, what do you think about the 49ers defense and their middle linebacker, Mr. Warner?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. He's high motor, man. Physical, very physical, man. And just he plays really hard. So, yeah, that's going to be a tough one, man. I'm looking forward to it, though.
Going with Mr. Foreman, the running back for the Tennessee Titans.
So people who are big college football fans around here, D'Onta, and there are a whole bunch of them, they know that you are also a 2,000-yard guy. And I don't know, have you ever kind of walked up to Derrick Henry and said, hey, man, I got my 2K in 11 games? Because you did it in 11 games.
Yeah. No, I never said that, man. Because I mean, his comeback could definitely be a lot better than mine. He had 2K in the NFL, man. So that's elite, man. That's something totally different. But yeah, man, it was great. It was just something that I don't know. It's still like a blur how everything just happened, man. But very thankful for that year, man. It was it really helped me a lot.
Okay, I thought this was a misprint because I was studying this. I thought this was a misprint, but now you could tell me. Did you run for 341 against Texas Tech? 341.
No, tell me that's not
You
true.
just scored another touchdown on them right now, I think. 341 against one team?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Did anybody – what was that like? Because like Michael Jordan would say sometimes, the goal looked really big. What does the defense look like? Do they just look like tiny people?
They were moving out the way.
Yes. Were they making business decisions? I mean, what goes into running for 341 against 11 people who are trying to – should be trying to stop you?
Man, this is a crazy story, kind of. So going into the game, I've never felt like this, but going into the game, my goal was to rush for 300 yards. Ooh. I mean, just going into the game, we kind of knew that their defense wasn't the best. And I knew I was going to get the ball, a lot that game. So the goal was to go for 300 and try to help us win the game. And I was able to do that. The only thing that I didn't know, I didn't know I actually had 300 until the game was over with. Because the signal in the stadium was so bad. So when I asked one of our guys, I was like, "Dang, we got a lot of yards. How many yards do I have?" And he told me he couldn't get reception upstairs to the box, so he didn't know. And I was, I think, 9 yards short of the record for the single season rushing game record.
Oh,
so that sucked. I just didn't know how close I was.
Oh, man. Let me ask you, just because I might have this for the rest of my life. Do you remember what you had for breakfast that day? Because I'm going to go buy some after the show, like Wheaties or eggs. What
so
do you eat?
So you can run to the show?
Yeah, 100%. I want to know.
Drive?
I need that kind of help. You remember what you had that day?
Yeah, I actually do. So basically, we played on the road. It would be more so of like pasta, so like spaghetti. So like some spaghetti, meat sauce, and a little grilled piece of chicken or something like that. I think that's what it was. Yeah, that's really normally my go-to.
Well, whatever it was working that day. And doggone it, we got to get somebody better cell phone so you can get the record next time. D'Onta Foreman on with us telling some stories here on Blaine and Mickey.
Well, D'Onta, I don't know how much superstition you have before a game, but I definitely did, and some guys do and some guys don't. Do you put on your uniform or cleats the same way, or do you do it after you have a good game? The next game you do it the same way, or try to?
Yeah, I definitely try to keep a routine going. Sometimes it changes just depending on the game and just depending on the time and stuff like that. But I try to stay as close to my routine as possible. And I've been like that since I was in high school. So yeah, I definitely try to keep my routine together.
Well, my partner in crime here, Mickey Ryan, loves uniforms. And y'all going all Navy, man. What's going to be your combo? You going to wear the red sleeves with the red? How you going to fix this up, man? What are you going to do?
Yeah, so I can go ahead and give y'all a little tip on the drip this week.
Give me that tip on that drip. Yeah, we need that.
Yeah, it'll be the red sleeves. I might go red sleeves with the red gloves and red cleats.
Ooh, I like
it's a
that.
Christmas feel.
Yeah. Ho. Watch out for me coming.
Yeah, I got some some Christmas cleats too that y'all might want to look out for, man. I think they're pretty nice.
Oh, is these the same ones you on Twitter right now? I'm looking at, or some different ones?
Some different ones, I believe. I don't think we haven't released.
We haven't worn them yet. Okay, yeah, this was
a
little bit ago. But yeah. Well, on I guess on an educational note for us before we let you go. All right, take me back to your Texas days and what does it mean by when they hook 'em horns and the upward downward the other way horn? Why is that so offensive and everything else? Take me through the history here.
I mean, it's offensive to us just because, what we stand for. Hook 'em. I mean, that's our logo. That's our sign. That's just a tradition that we have. So we take it personally when people throw the horns down and put it in our face. So, we of course we're gonna take that as disrespect. So we gotta, but we gotta do better, man. I'm rooting for those guys to get it going, change the culture around, man. It's about that time for us to get it going, man. Get us back to where we need to be.
Oh, y'all better before y'all get in the SEC.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So have you been? Lastly, I gotta ask you, I saw VY on Twitter. Have you been to his steakhouse, man? Have you met him? I mean, just kind of, he cool dude. I liked him a lot, man. It just didn't work out here at the end.
Yeah, I like BY, man. I met him a few times, man. We have actually a cool relationship, and I actually have been to a steakhouse out in Austin. Yeah, I have.
Well, cool, man. Well, thanks for coming on, man, and taking your time before practice, man. And have a good one on Thursday, man. I'm a big fan of yours, man, and you keep doing a good job.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate y'all having me. Thank y'all so much.
Hey, remember, tell Henry 2K in 11 games, you did it. All right?
He's not telling him.
Thanks, Deontay. Thank you, man. Merry Christmas. Good luck Thursday night.
Merry Christmas. Thank y'all.
All right, take care. Happy holidays.
That dude, he was 8th. Lucas said this in my ears. He said Kingsbury was the quarterback of Texas Tech.
No,
the
head coach.
Head coach. Sorry, when they ran all over
was
it that day.
Mahomes wasn't there, was he? No.
Yeah.
It would have been 2016. So I think so.
I should have asked him. I was wondering because I was sitting there.
Hey, man, it's funny. He's like, let me tell you a story. That day I thought, I'm going to go for 300.
Well, he said he knew their defense, wasn't very good.
But he had no idea. I went to the coach and asked him, how many yards do I have? It seems like a lot. It was, and they got this happens all the time in the stadium. You get there, you got no phone reception. This is a true story. When I was at Arkansas State, the coaches would look for me at the end of games like that and say, are there any records that were close to, because they knew that I knew them all.
Oh.
And there was a time where I said, yeah, you need to get him 2 more carries. And we got a guy a record because I knew the record.
Oh, so you were, what's the guy's name for the Titans that is kind of Vrabel's right-hand man?
Stretch.
I was going to say Stick. Stretch.
Yeah, but there's not much stretch here.
You were the Stretch for Arkansas State?
Yeah, the Stretch is like 3 feet taller than me. I was like the anti-stretch, but I remembered things. So
Yeah. You was their version of Stretch. You do all the records, man. That's pretty cool.
That dude didn't play football in 2019. He was out of the league.
Isn't that crazy?
Then he plays 6 games for Titans last year and was just a nice kind
it's
of feeling.
Because Vrabel knew of him when he was with the Texans.
Yeah,
this guy, every time he gets in the game, I go, man, and I didn't want to say this to him because it may have been offensive. He's a poor man's Henry. He just doesn't have the breakaway speed. He's a heavy load. He hits the hole hard. I mean, he fits this offense. And I knew he was going to be the guy once they got him here. And he got in better shape, football shape. Yeah, he's, so I don't know what everybody else sees, but I call it as I see it.
He is averaging, this by far, this is his biggest year by far since his rookie year in 2017. He played in 10 games that year for Houston. He mentioned, I've had some injuries, and I feel lucky and blessed to get the chance to play. He's played in 6 games for the Titans this year. He played in 6 games last year. 77 carries for 348 yards. He's averaged 4.5 yards per carry. He averaged 4.3 last year.
Yeah, and barely, man, he didn't stick with the Falcons. I just knew he was sticking with them.
Yeah,
with the knowledge of Mr. Arthur Smith, who's doing a pretty good job with not a lot around him, a couple, pieces here or there, but man, they're on the right track. Once he gets some more talent around him, they're gonna be pretty good.
We're gonna be pretty good in the next segment.
Well, we've always been pretty good because the people have been telling us that we're pretty good based off those ratings. So.
We got to take a break. We'll come back. Who didn't practice yesterday? We don't know yet who did today, but we'll run through a little bit of that and a Titan in the COVID protocols. No bueno. That's next.
Oh.
Well, Doobie Brothers, I like this, Lucas. I caught them when they were in town. Oh, my gosh. What an unbelievable show. Doobie Brothers, they still got their fastball. They can sing and play. They were not. Well, on a day with no school, I started the show with this. I got pulled over for speeding in a school zone. I was going like 28. And guys like, do you know how fast you're going? I said, yeah, like 28. And he's like, yes, in a school zone. I said, there's no school. I'm going to have to confirm that. I like, look at the school. And I got pulled over.
Yeah, he was
no school. It's the 20th of December yesterday.
His quota, for the month. It's tough at the end of the month,
If that would have gone, I respect our law enforcement. I know a lot of them listen. You know me, I respect everybody. I'm that guy.
You do.
I might have, the switch might have been flipped.
Oh.
H-Town. Yeah. If that had gone further or more poorly for me.
Yeah.
I'm not, and I can't control that when it happens. It's like the Hulk. He's not trying to be the Hulk. I don't want to be H-Town. And I probably wouldn't have said, shut your mouth.
Because you would have been like, with the jail. That might have been worth it, though. It might have been worth it.
If I did the show live from jail.
Yeah, you just got pulled over for some nonsense. His friends say, hey, man, I had a shot at saw what it looks like behind those bars.
Could be sponsored by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Yes. Yeah. My mom is the most kind, God-fearing woman you've ever met in your life. And she got pulled over. She's a sweet little lady. She got pulled over in this little town, Truman, Arkansas, which is near where I'm from. And she said, I need to know why you pulled me over. And guy said, well, the speed limit's, 30, and you were going 40. And she said,
she went H-Town on him.
She went H-Town. He took her to jail.
You were in a car?
No.
Oh, you were?
No, I was already here.
But
okay. My dad was still alive, so.
I didn't tell the story.
So my dad called me. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm going to Truman to get your mother out of jail. I said, what? So she said, I passed the 40-mile-per-hour sign. I can see the 30-mile-per-hour sign. I have not yet passed it. I'm in 40. I'm doing, and she said, I wasn't even doing 40. I was just doing like 30, 35, 36, whatever. And he said, ma'am, you were doing 37 in a 30. She goes, no, I wasn't. I was doing 37 in a 40. And this goes on and on. He's like, ma'am, he tried to give her a ticket. She said, I will not accept this ticket. He said, then I'm going to have to take you to jail. So he did. And so my dad was like the mayor of the county in Arkansas. It's called county judge. So she knew everybody. My dad worked with all those people.
So that's the advantage of being in a, small town.
So the guy takes her into jail. And the actual judge, like the guy who would have processed the case, was in there. And he's like, hey, Connie, what are you doing? And she's like, this guy just arrested me. And the judge lost his mind. And it was a bad scene. So my dad had to go and get my mom out to Jernt. Yeah. So we have a history of, unbridled behavior.
not you guys. Not you. I could probably tell you many stories about myself, but not you. Not you, man. Yeah.
It's still, and it for a while she was okay talking about it, but now she's like, I don't want to talk about it. That was just a bad day. But she let them take her. She went to jail. My mother went to jail. It's not on her record. It was expunged. It was. She argued successfully that she was not speeding.
Well,
so I was.
It break my. I could tell a story, but I'll wait till the break to tell you.
Okay.
It was this week.
Oh no! Oh
yeah.
Oh, it's getting hot in here. Okay.
Remember my tire blew out.
Yeah.
I
noticed your car had been in the parking lot.
Yeah, it blew out. So I was on the side of the road and just minding my own business. Just driving with a busted tire off the ramp in Concord. The next thing you know, I'm getting police all around me. Like, whoa, what's going on here? Get all over the ramp and just park right there in the area right there past after exit Concord in the neighborhood. And I'm just sitting there all of a sudden. I say, hey, man, it's getting dark, man. It's about to be dark. Police just all over the place. Where I'm like, hey.
Somebody must have done something wrong.
Right. What is going on? Where is it at?
It was you.
Doop.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
What the heck? Hey, what are you doing? My tire's busted. Do you see it? You walk right by it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I almost went H-Town Mickey, especially when they say, let me see your driver's license and your registration. Guess what I did? I went H-Town Mickey in a nice way. I'm not giving you nothing. Because I didn't do nothing. I'm sitting here waiting on my Uber driver, Lyft to get me out of here because they said it's going to take 2 hours to get me a towing truck because I have no tire. So it kind of ended there. But still, it was just like, what? Yeah, well, people been hitting and running, which you want to... What? Do you see any wreck around my car?
You think I would hit somebody in this car? You got a nice car.
Yeah, right. I was like, oh, wait a minute now. Yeah.
My problem, same exit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hate us. They hate our show. They're trying to take us out.
I don't know. I didn't tell them nothing about that, but I did. They asked me my name, and I said, oh, yeah, I'll give you my name. It'll match up with the tags on here.
Oh, no.
But I'm not giving you anything. I didn't do anything. Why would I give you I didn't do anything. I'm parked.
Right.
With a flat.
On a public street.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're going to get ourselves together. We teased this, so here you go. Elijah Molden went into COVID protocols Monday.
Oh, man.
That means he out for Thursday. Julio, Lawan, David Long again, and Laurel Murchison did not practice, but Jackrabbit and Saffold and Tart all returned full go.
Oh, did they?
Yep.
Ooh-wee. We're going to have some dudes now.
Yeah. The David Long thing.
Who's going to start? Jackrabbit or Screen?
Ooh, I don't know. We can talk about that coming up because we got to get to hour number 2. Coach Mack will join us. Heck, we can ask him who you're going to start.
Or one makes $7 million.
Yeah,
probably. That's who's going to start.
That guy might be the starter. All right, we're going to review our legal options here. We'll be right back.
That don't mean he's a better player.
It is 2:01. Good afternoon. I'm Lucas Panzica. The Titans on a short week preparing for Thursday night football in Nissan Stadium against San Francisco. Still waiting on the injury report to come out for today. Yesterday, Julio Jones, David Long, and Taylor Lewan did not practice. Roger Saffold did return as a full participant along with Tier Tart and Jackrabbit Jenkins. The Titans also designated A.J. Brown and Chris Jackson to return to practice, monitoring the status of both in the lead-up to Thursday's kickoff. Here's head coach Mike Vrabel on that matter.
See how they respond to what we ask them to do. It's a difference to go out there and practice as it is to go out there and be in the game. But using Bud as an example, last week he had a good week of practice and I think built confidence and was able to help us on Sunday.
A.J. Brown and Chris Jackson are both eligible to come off IR before Thursday. The Titans also placed defensive back Elijah Molden on the COVID list yesterday. More Week 15 football happening tonight. 2 divisional games that were postponed due to COVID in the NFC West. Seattle at the L.A. Rams and Philly and Washington going head-to-head in the NFC East. Both games kick off at 6. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Blaine and Mickey, 104.5 The Zone, hour number 2 of the Tuesday program. Getting close to Christmas. Happy holidays to everybody out there. Appreciate you hanging out. No, I can't believe it. This time is just flying, man. This year has just flown by. Great conversation earlier with D'Onta Foreman. We don't do a good enough job of plugging the podcast, but go check it out later wherever you consume your podcast. You can find all your favorite Zone shows there. But you will love the discussion with D'Onta Foreman. Fantastic dude. And it's amazing. Was out of football, wound up on the Titans. Last year, played 6 games. I think we all thought, this guy probably get another run here. Nope. Contract expired, goes to Atlanta, gets cut at the end of the preseason, he's out there available. Pulled him off the street. He's got 2 100-yard games.
First thing I said, hey, man, we need to
call
go
D'Onta Foreman. Yeah.
Because he fits this scheme. He knows the offense. Hey, man, we can make it, to the King gets back. Man, nobody going to replace the King. Let's be honest. But, hey, he's done a formidable job. Yay.
He has his career high in rushing yards in a season already this year in just 6 games. He matched what he got his rookie year for the Texans. He's already passed that amount. Also has his career high in catches and receiving yards this year.
Oh, and those screens.
Yeah. Him catching the ball out of the backfield, and they have plays where they empty the backfield and put him out wide. I never really thought of him because I don't think he caught like 13 balls or something in his career at Texas. Now he ran for a boatload of yards. They had a 2,000-yard season. It's like, I guess, why throw him the ball, but we can just hand it to him and get the same result. But he catches the ball really nice. I mean, he's a nice player.
Mm-hmm. As long as the King's on the team, even when he comes back, like going into next year, I may not dress him because he's probably just a runner, probably not a real good special team. I'm just guessing. I got to have that guy on my roster just in case. Some coaches look at it like, nah, we'll just pick him out. He'll be, but no, this guy's, what he's doing now, I think people are going to start saying, nah, this guy is pretty solid. And if he stays healthy, keeps grinding here the next 2 or 3 games before the King comes back, man, he's going to have over 500 yards.
Yeah.
And he's going to average 4.5 yards a carry.
That's where he is in the NFL and was on a couch.
Yeah, he's 3rd-round pick, man.
Yeah.
Texas. Yeah, we talk about the hook 'em horns and the upside-down horns.
He explained all that to us.
Yeah.
And he did. He also said.
He said that's offensive.
Blaine,
he's good friends with VY.
Yeah, said he ate at his steakhouse. The other thing is this, we asked him how many tape jobs against Steelers. He said 3. 3 tape jobs on his ankle. And Blaine asked him hot tub, cold tub. He goes, I'm a hot tub guy, but I got in the cold tub this week. Yeah. So people hear us mention that. Just think like,
I need to get in the cold tub right now.
Anytime you had to put ice on your knee or your elbow, if you ever had to do that, ice is basically anti-inflammatory. It's like aspirin, but it's just cold. Cold does the same thing. It's anti-inflammatory. How long? So are you like up to your neck in the cold tub, and how long? Or is it like just your legs? How are you doing that?
Well, me personally,
yes.
Most guys are just doing waist down.
Okay.
Yeah, I would probably rotate, but I would get in neck down. but I'm starting with just the waist down first. We all carry this little timer clock.
Mm-hmm.
And you just press it, and then I knew I just look at countdown to get to 2 minutes. And then I'm past freezing time, and I can make it.
Okay.
So once you get past all that, then you're cool, and then I'd go under. And I just sit down, man. You got to have a conversation with somebody so it occupies your mind and everything else. Then once you get used to doing it and you see the rewards from it, though, that's the key, that your body feels fresh. I mean, I got so comfortable with it. At the end of my career, I started doing it immediately after the games. I'm not even waiting till the next day. I'm getting in the tub in the training room immediately.
At the stadium?
At the stadium.
Oh, you're just doing it there before you ever even get in the car to go home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you feel fresh. And I got in a routine where I would do it every day after practice, but only waist down then, all the way down probably on the, after the game or, that Monday when you go over to the facility. But yeah, it rejuvenates and you feel fresh. So a hot tub before practice, cold tub after practice. Start watching these guys who are playing in the league a long time. You start doing that, and you say, I'm going in there then. Yeah. Then
So hot tub to loosen you up, I guess. Get that lather worked up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then cold tub after practice. And a lot of young guys, when you're young, you feel like you're invincible. You feel like you could run for days, so they're not doing anything.
Right.
And they were looking around. You got to start paying attention. Be aware of what's going on around you. I mean, there's a lot of different things they can do now. But, ice wasn't going to cut it. Just ice in my knees. If I was going to do that, then I would have had ice all over the place.
Foreman is, oh, my gosh. You know how old he is? Seems like he's been around a minute.
Since you just said I'm hinting that it's lower, so 26.
He's 25.
Oh.
He's 25 years old.
He got a lot of tread under his tires.
Boy, that 25, 25 years old. Now, he would be 26 before next season, but he's still a young guy. But, he said, I always liked the hot tub, but I had to hit the cold tub this week. He said, trying to get ready for the game on Thursday. Yeah. Were you amazed, and I know we've talked about this some, were you amazed? Because you're a guy who're like, okay, this is just what I have to do. I got to do this to get my body ready. Were you amazed when you'd see other guys just not do little? I may not be the fastest guy. I may not be the most athletic. I can't jump the highest, but I could get in the cold tub. I could. Mm-hmm. Did it bother you when you saw guys who didn't do little things that could have helped them or helped their career or watch extra film or did that bother you?
No.
No?
That was on him. I mean, you're a professional at this point in time. That's on you. Only thing that would a little irritate me is when we go through the meetings, they install, then you go to your individual meeting with your coaches, they install all the same stuff. Then we go through walkthrough, and we install, and it's the same stuff. And then we get on the field, and you mess up. I'm like, so that's 4 times installed in a day, and you didn't get this? That was the only thing irritating. Everything else, it's on you. It's up to you. Now, if you come to me and ask me about, some things, then I'm cool to help you, but nah, that's on you. You that'll determine if you'll be in this league long or not.
Right.
You'll see, the guys who are serious and are professionals. You got to have a mindset that you're a pro's pro and you're walking with a briefcase, just that you're being an athlete. You better take it that way because there's cheats all over the place, and I call it the cheat sheet, where you're studying things, and every team does what they do best. The Titans run the ball, right? They're running the same running plays all the time. Well, yeah, you just have to stop it. So where can you get an edge on trying to beat them to the punch? Mm-hmm. Who's giving you the tips and the keys to the house, So that's kind of what I would study every week. Outside of, they're also putting in new plays besides your basic plays that you run all the time and try to match it up with the scheme that they run on offense. So I would have latitude with that, because sometimes guys get confused once they start motioning and shifting. I get it because, sometimes I did. So.
Okay, let me ask you this, because you've
always.
They
don't want to do the little things. That's on them.
Sure.
I can't help you. I'm not going to tell you to do those.
You've mentioned this before. Dice has talked about it on Titans pre and post game. Guys that we have on, teams do what they do. They run the plays that they run. They install their playbook.
They have the base plays that they're going to run every game.
How much changes from week to week? If you have base stuff that you always run, how much of a percentage does that make up? Like that never changes, but then you may put take this out and put this in?
That's hard to say because it was so different week to week. But let's just use third down base defenses. I mean, that thing, it was 50-50. We could put in something that we had never run since training camp.
Oh.
But so what happens is in training camp, they kind of throw everything at you, and you're going to run all these different things. And then each week it's segmented with some of those pieces. And you just put it in and say, we're going to run this, or you give it a tag it a different way, or you run something that you run all the time, but you make some adjustments to it, and that can tweak some guys too. And that's really tough because you're used to conditioned to run it a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just like saying, okay, base cover 2. All right, it wasn't called that. Then we kind of converted it, and the safety was down instead of the corner. But they're like, man, we've run this way all the time. Why are we different? Well, okay, you go tackle Bettis then. You go tackle Bettis because sometimes they run out of this formation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they go, oh, okay, well, I get back. So, you know, so those are the things that would get a little confusing, a little frustrating for everybody. But it was, you know, our coordinators were always really good, and we trusted them. That's why I always talk about trust, because not only do the coaches trust you, but you also have to trust your players that you're playing with. Mm-hmm. That's why people take for granted. Like, to me, Julio Jones hasn't even been out there enough for Tannehill to even trust him. I mean, like, really. People are like, oh, no, you can just no. There's a trust factor that has to be developing a bond, especially from quarterback to receiver, that is reps. And that's what they're talking about now with A.J. Brown, you know, because they've already developed that, and now it's just you got to get back out there and used to running, and you're going to be in shape, you're going to have the concentration, you're going to be sharp, or you're going to have your A game. That's all you're worried about. I know you're going to be where you need to be.
Right.
You know, so, and you got to make sure you're on top of where we're at now with, you know, putting in plays. We maybe have to tweak some things this, you know, compared to last year, maybe when we do this or versus this team. So that's where guys have to be student of the game, and you'll be amazed. And I think a lot of people, you know, they look at it and you got to know who you're dealing with and how you have to explain and translate the information to them. And I think that's where guys gets lost because in my early years, I just would translate it into what I could understand. Well, some guys can't even do that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I got into the league. It was a really complex 46 defense, and it was like foreign language to me. So I would just study all the way every night to midnight, every night, till I got it where it became natural because I was an instinctive player. And once I'm out here thinking, I slow down drastically. Mm-hmm. So I didn't want that because I wasn't the same player. I start hesitating, second-guessing everything that I'm doing. So no. So there's a mental side to this, to having success that nobody even thinks about or talks about as a player that helps them have success. And once it gets tweaked, and sometimes it could be change of coach, position coach, and then all of a sudden now you feel like you're proving yourself and you've done it this way, and now they wanted you to do it this way, and then all of a sudden they don't look like the same player. You're like, man, what happened? So, you know, it's just a lot of different things, especially in this day and age, that they have to deal with. But it's tougher than it seems than just going out there and playing like you're playing in high school or something.
And always good to get that inside information. We'll get some more of it next. Coach Mack's set to join us. The weekly Mack Attack with Coach Dave McGinnis coming up next on Blaine and Mickey. So the holidays are here. It's the holiday season. And FanDuel Sportsbook, those jolly old elves, they got a gift for all new customers. No, it's not slippers or a robe or underpants. We're talking about 30-1 odds on any Christmas Day NBA or NFL game. You got it. Just sign up for FanDuel Sportsbook. Bet on any team to win any of these marquee matchups that take place on Christmas. And if your bet wins, you're going to be paid out 30 times your wager. That's right. You can turn a $5 bet into $150. I'm going to tell you, I like the Pack over the Browns on Christmas. Oh, man, I'm so pumped about all these games. There's no better place to bet all these or the college football championships than on America's #1 sportsbook, FanDuel Sportsbook. Don't miss your chance to win $150 on a $5 bet. Sign up, use the promo code Mickey. Place your first FanDuel Sportsbook wager on any NFL or NBA Christmas Day for those 30-1 odds. It's their gift to all new customers when they download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Got to be 21 or older, present in Tennessee. New Year's is only $10 first deposit required. Best wagering designated offer, market max bonus, $150 bonus for Tennessee users. Fulfilled in site credit within 72 hours. Tennessee site credit expires 14 days after a street. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you got a gambling problem, call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789. Blaine and Mickey, 104.5 The Zone. You hear that music, it only means one thing. It means Coach Dave McGinnis is joining us. Coach Dave McGinnis, brought to you by Farm Bureau Health Plans. Need great health care coverage and affordable price. Let Farm Bureau Health Plans coach you through it. They got you covered, just like Coach has us covered each week with the Mac Attack. Coach, how in the world are you this Christmas season?
Hey, Mickey and Blaine, I'm doing great. Let me just say right up from the start, because I won't be able to talk to you until after Christmas is over. Merry Christmas and the best to you and your families. You guys are the best, and I wish the best Christmas for both of you.
Well, happy holidays to you too, Coach Mac. Man, thank you.
Thanks. Absolutely.
Coach Mac, you always seem to have these epic holidays. What's a Coach Mac Christmas like? I mean, Santa probably comes down the chimney. You guys have like a nice drink or something together.
Yeah, except Santa has on black.
100% when he comes to see Coach Mac. I mean, you got to be friends with Santa, and I know you love dogs. You probably get to pet the reindeer. I mean, it's got to be fun to be Coach Mac at Christmas.
Well, it is. I mean, we have a really great relationship, and wherever I am, he always stops, and I have something for the reindeer to eat. And I always make sure that he feels comfortable and give him just a little bit of a rest stop. It's never really a real quick hit and just take off again. He hangs around for a while. He likes to talk ball some, too, during the season.
Oh.
I love it. We got to have Santa and Coach Mac in some kind of Titans programming at some point. That needs to happen. Let me ask you this, Coach. What are these games like where you play on Sunday and then you've got to play on Thursday to condense an NFL week like that? What is it like?
Mentally and physically a challenge. I mean, it's a challenge for the players physically. I mean, it's a challenge for their bodies. You've got a guy sitting there that did it for years. They get into a routine with their bodies and what they do to recover and play. And when you accelerate it, that number of days that you have to accelerate it from a Sunday to a Thursday, it's an entirely, and so you have to start working on that, as an organization, as a training staff, the week before. Because it's extremely, extremely important. And then the mental challenge is being able to flip the script, especially if you are playing an unfamiliar opponent, which the Titans are in an NFC West opponent. This is an unfamiliar opponent now, so everything has been broken down, 10 days prior. But just the mental challenge and the physical challenge of it is significant. If you are playing a divisional opponent, the mental challenge is a little bit different because at least you've got some familiarity to fall back on. When you're playing a completely different opponent that is out of your division or out of your conference, then the mental challenge of it is on top of the physical challenge.
Coach Mac giving us the Mac Attack here on Blaine and Mickey on Tuesday.
Well, Mac, we can go a lot of different directions on why they lost, but I guess what I want to ask you is, the refereeing across the NFL, which is a tough job, I can't understate that. The last 2 years, I've never seen it being this bad. I don't know if it's just because I'm paying attention a lot more, sitting in the seat I'm sitting in now, but how can we improve refereeing?
Yeah, well, to me, that would take at least 6 of our shows to even touch it, and we still couldn't scratch it. Because here's the part about it, and I agree with you. I mean, I've always had great respect. I had a great relationship when I was coaching, especially as the head coach. But the problem with it now that I see from my observation point now, which is different than from when I was coaching, it's inconsistent. It's inconsistently called from crew to crew. And then the thing that bothers me the most, look, I understand a lot of these calls are subjective, and so that's just the way it goes. And competition penalties, I don't mind, but when they cannot properly, administer the game as far as spotting the ball, down and distance, being able to administer penalties, or because just like at the end of that ball, and again, first of all, officiating is not why the Titans lost. The Titans lost because they turned the ball over.
Right.
Let's just get that out there. Yep. They lost because they turned the football over in their own territory. Because if they would have punted every time they turned it over, they would have won. If they would have punted twice and just turned it over twice, they would have won. Because the Titans' defense was dominating Pittsburgh's offense. They were dominating. They were not going to drive and score. The score they made, they got 30 yards in penalties, to be able to get down there on the 1 yard line, and it took them 3 tries to get in from there. So they lost because they turned the football over. That's why they lost. And then offensively, they could not score touchdowns when they were able to drive the ball. So That's on the Titans, and that's how you look at it as a coach and a team. You go to the officiating. The thing that bothers me the most, and because I'm up there, and when we are trying to convey what's happening through the medium of the Titans radio broadcast, we have to be able to take cues from the officials as to what's going on. And sometimes when you're sitting there and you're having dead air trying to determine what, because you're getting those signals. And then that last play, guys, was a gross misapplication of any way that you administer the game. I mean, first of all, the ball was spotted incorrectly. They spotted it incorrectly. Then they measured it, and with a measure with the incorrect spot, then they have to go to New York and say, look, you spotted this ball wrong, move it back. It's not all of that stuff. That just interrupts the flow of the game, and it also just bothers you because the consistency of that is the issue, in my opinion.
Man, you heard it right here from Coach Mack giving us the Mack attack. All right, one more thing about the game.
Yeah.
And that is, how bad was Pittsburgh's offense, or how good was more so the Titans' defense? Because I hadn't seen a game like that from a Titans defense in a long time. Man, that was dominating. So what was, closer to the more of the truth? The domination of the defense, or just Pittsburgh's offense just wasn't that good?
Well, I think this defense has been playing really well all year. I mean, especially that 6-game stretch. Even those games that they lost, they still look in 3 games that they've lost. Blaine, and I don't have to go any further than this because you understand it clearly, and I know our listeners will too, and so will Mickey. 13 turnovers in 3 games. You're not going to win them.
Yeah.
You're just not going to win them doing that. This defense has been playing very well all year, and they've been doing it with some different people in and out. But here's the key to it. When they were playing great in that 6-game stretch, they could get pressure with 4, and now their coverage, they can do a lot of things with their coverage. And plus, they're younger players that are playing. When Fulton gets back in there and is able to play, Elijah Molden has really improved a lot. I mean, he's a viable player now, the addition of Buster Screen. But they're playing really good defense, and they're playing really great team defense, and they're playing situationally. Last year, we've talked about it a lot in the offseason. Their third down defense was a problem. This year, they're a really good third down defense because they're playing good defense as a whole this year. And so to me, it was good defense. And look, we talked about it on this show before we went to Pittsburgh to play. Roethlisberger's not the same. They had a great plan for Roethlisberger. Yeah. The only way they were able to run the ball was those jet sweeps, with the receivers. I mean, that's the only way they could run the ball. So anyway, the defense played really well. Let's just put that out there. And again, it's a team game, so it's a team loss. But when you start breaking it down, the defense right now is playing really good football, and the offense, if they don't turn it over, is moving the football. Look, they've started running the football very well. They are running the football very well. You've got to protect the ball. When you have the ball, you have to protect it.
Well, Coach, man, I have to ask you this. I'm getting this from a lot of fans, even just being out and about, and that is, can a running back win an MVP in this day and age in the National Football League? Because we're hearing a lot of Jonathan Taylor MVP, and I'm like, well, man, he's got 1,500 yards. I mean, he doesn't even have 2,000 yards. I don't know if a running back can actually even win the MVP when Derrick Henry, the king, last year rushed for 2,000. He wasn't even a finalist for the MVP.
I think Derrick Henry was on a course to maybe be able to do that this year before he got injured, just because he was on such a hot tear, and they were really moving. But it's always going to be hard to take that away from a quarterback, just because of the position and because of the numbers that they can put up. Should they be able to? I mean, Adrian Peterson was the last one to do it, right? I mean, and so to me, and Jonathan Taylor is having a phenomenal year, and the Colts are playing really well. You just got to be honest, and look at them and see. But I would think it would be hard for Jonathan Taylor to win that this year. But I really think that at the time, before he had the injury at Indianapolis, Derrick Henry was kind of on course to make it really hard for people that are voting on that to say this guy doesn't deserve any consideration.
I'm interested to see if Derrick Henry opened the window for now running backs to have a shot, even though he didn't win it. We're on with Coach Mack, giving us the Mack attack.
Coach, one thing I noticed, and I know this had to make you happy to see. You talked a little bit about the defense, and Mike Vrabel even brought this up. I think you even mentioned in the broadcast, there was one play where they missed 3 tackles on the play, and they still held the runner to note. There were so many guys swarming the ball. It almost looked like it was comical at times how many Titans there were around the ball every play.
Well, look, and that's something that it has been, very common to all great defenses I've been associated with in my, 3 decades of coaching defense in this league. You got a guy sitting right there with you that's been on some really outstanding defenses.
Hey, number one,
yeah.
Yeah, and team defense is about everybody getting to the ball every play. Not just sometimes, it's every play. And so, when you hear me say on the broadcast, they are racing to the football, that's exactly what I mean. I mean, it's not I've done my job, I've held my gap, I've held my responsibility, I've held my third of the field, I've held my curl to flat. It's once the ball declares, get to the ball as fast as you can. And that's why, all the defenses I've been on in the team meeting rooms, Blaine's has experienced this as a player. Get that laser pointer and point it. Even if you win and say, are you running? Are you running? Are you running? Are you running? Look, I've done that, and everybody buys into it and gets it because that's what it takes. That's what it takes. The athletes you're playing against that are on offense in the National Football League, regardless of the success of their teams, are still great athletes. That's why they're here, and especially those guys that get the football in their hands. They're the skilled athletes. They're the space athletes, and so you got to get people around them. And so it all starts with the mindset. And you can tell that we've talked about this since training camp with this defense. They had the mindset that we're going to flip this. And so you can see that. But ask Blaine about some of those film sessions he was in with that laser pointer.
Ooh, yeah, that wasn't fun, boy.
Everybody's sitting there because it's, when that green or red dot is on you, there's nowhere to hide.
Oh,
Are you running? Just you tell us, are you running? I'm not going to say a word.
Yeah.
You tell us. And if you are running, then I need to find somebody to run faster.
Yeah. Yeah, I could go through a story, but I'll wait about me personally. But, hey, Coach, once we realized we got Henry Ford to run to the ball, we said, oh, man, we've accomplished a lot here, man. This guy's running to the ball. Because Ford, man, be like, hey, man, that's a long way over there.
Hey, but once you get your big guys running, that's when you know everybody's built into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The defense, as well as it's playing, it picked up last season's leading tackler, Zach Cunningham. It was a nice first appearance for him on Sunday in Pittsburgh, it looked like.
Well, I liked what they did with him. They had a package. They had a 3-linebacker package that they put him in there with. At one time you had he, Jayon, and Rashawn in there at the same time. I mean, this guy's a player.
Yeah.
And this guy's got a GPS to the ball. And as I said, I mean, he's pretty angry when he's playing too. I mean, he's a big, long, tall. He's a little bit. He weighs more than Keith did when Keith played. But Bullock was a long linebacker, and those long linebackers that can quick trigger. I mean, they can cover a lot of ground, not only with their feet and their speed, but they got length, and so he adds a dimension to this second level of defense that I think is going to be really nice.
Man, this is good stuff talking football with Coach Mack. The Mack Attack, we do it at the same time every week right here on Blaine and Mickey.
Well, Coach, give us the GPS to the San Francisco 49ers, man, because they've won 5 of the last 6. And every time I watch them, I go, ooh, man, we played them. I start watching them right when they start getting it all together in that running game and the play action pass. I'm like, ooh, this team's going to be pretty tough. I'm glad we're getting them in the short week, and they got to come way over here.
All right, look, this football team, first of all, the 49ers are a better total football team than the Steelers are. Let's just get that out there.
Yeah.
They are better. And then offensively, Kyle Shanahan learned from his dad and his sequencing of play calls. And when I study film and study play callers, I look at their sequencing. You talk about layering. Well, sequencing is different. Sequencing is being able to either layer it, set up a play with a play, or reverse sequencing it, going the other way, and then trying to see how they're going to adjust to the adjustment and then come back to the base. He's really good at that. He learned it from his dad. His dad was one of the best. Mike Shanahan was one of the best at this, with all the movement. And this run game is inside zone, outside zone, This run game is a power gap scheme. This run game is a misdirection, multiple pull scheme. This run game is Debo Samuel in the backfield. This is a very multi-layered run game. This is the most sophisticated run game that takes all aspects of that's in the National Football League. Baltimore is different because they've got their quarterback as a primary runner, so that scheme is. But this one puts a real eye discipline pressure on your second and third levels, because this is, if you're out of any gaps on this, and they challenge gaps, they create gaps with inserts, they create gaps with pulls, they create gaps, with down, pull around. This is a very, very sophisticated run game that they're getting ready to play. In my humble opinion, it's the most sophisticated run game in the National Football League.
Oh, no doubt about it. Well, I guess talk a little bit about their defense and Warner and crew, let alone those Bosa. I mean, man, the pass rush they have. Oh, man.
Well, yeah, I mean they've got dudes up front, and led by Bosa, but Warner is a big time collision eraser in the back, and it's hard to fool him. You get those veteran linebackers that have great eye discipline and also a great feel and an instinct. It comes from film study. You did it, Blaine. A lot of times you can get ahead of blocks and you can get ahead of schemes just by film study and getting your, as we used to call it, you did too, bird rabbit keys, that you pick up from really studying film, not just watching film, studying film. And that's what this guy is. He beats a lot of schemes by getting ahead of the blocks, and so you've got to not only get a hat on him, you've got to be able to be sure that you secure him even past the second level, because this guy is a really good tackling machine behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, with Coach Mack giving us the Mack attack.
Coach, the NFL current rules allow a guy to be on IR for 3 games, then he can come back. Obviously, that's a newer system that's come about as a result of COVID. For A.J. Brown or Chris Jackson or any of these guys who are coming off this COVID list and then they start to practice, what's the biggest challenge for them? Is it the football shape part? Is it the getting hit again? Is it getting reacclimated to game planning? And what's the biggest challenge?
Well, the biggest challenge, first of all, is once they get out on the practice field and start going to an up tempo, is see how their bodies and their injury point reacts the next day. That's the biggest thing. All right, because they're doing something physical all the time when they're rehabbing.
Sure.
But being able to get out there on the practice field and then go through a full practice and put your body through what you have to do at your various positions, whether it's a lot of straining and pushing for offensive and defensive linemen, whether it's changing direction, and violent start stops for the skill position, then see how that body and that injury point react the next day. That's the next level and the next step that they have to take. So, I mean, it's not like when you're injured, you're just sitting around all day. That doesn't happen, so it's not so much getting back into physical condition. What it is getting back into seeing how does your body react to what you're going to put it through once you're in a game.
Coach, great stuff, as always. We're already at the end of our segment. Man, it just flies by. But Merry Christmas again to you, and we know you're going to enjoy calling the game on Thursday night. We're going to enjoy listening to it.
Guys, Merry Christmas to you guys and all of our listeners, all of our great listeners. And I'm getting ready to get out of the truck and go to practice right now.
Yes, sir. Cool. Coach Mack giving us the Mack attack. Thank you, Coach.
See you guys. Yeah, see you guys.
Yes, sir. We say goodbye to Coach. When we come back, Bill from Spring Hill has been on hold. Bill, we will get to you next. If you want to hold through the break, we'll grab your phone call and would love to talk to you. I think he wants to talk some officiating, so we will talk to Bill. If you want to squeeze in a phone call, Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline, 615-737-1045. We'll get you on. Also hear from Rashawn Evans. He talked about a night and day difference of the confidence of this year's Titans team. Interesting soundbite from today that I caught earlier. But first, would you like to go to the game? Titans fans, it's Titans Ticket Tuesday. Each week before home games, you got a chance to win a pair of tickets to see the Titans square off against, well, this week it's the 49ers. All the 2021 home opponents at Nissan Stadium, thanks to Kentucky Legend. That's some good stuff. Be caller 5 now for your chance to win Titans versus 49ers tickets Thursday Night Football in Nashville. Here's the number, 615-737-1045. You want more information on Titans Ticket Tuesday, presented by Kentucky Legend. Visit 1045thezone.com. On the phone with my good buddy Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert. You get down to the end of the year, Ryan, and some people, because of Christmas, because of maybe COVID expenses, medical expenses, school expenses, it could be credit card expenses, they find themselves needing an infusion of cash. Well, guess what? If you own a home, there's an infusion of cash available with your home. You know how to get it to them.
Absolutely. It's probably I don't know. A lot of folks are calling in right now because they want to buy a house next year, and that's great. They're getting pre-approved before the first of the year. Really smart. If you're thinking about buying that house, follow that lead. Give us a call today. Let us get you pre-approved. If there's things in your credit you didn't know about, it gives you time to clean it up. Or, heck, you might think you're going to buy a house next summer, but then February, the perfect home in the best neighborhood comes. You need to be ready. So, again, if you are even considering buying a home, let us get you pre-approved today. Put the experts to work. We want to earn that business. But back to the question, holidays are expensive. We know that. The gift giving, the travel, the time away from work, and heck, everything just costs so much right now. Christmas trees, $200, everything. So a lot of folks are also calling in looking to get some cash out. Why not, right? Think about what the homes are selling for in your neighborhood. Now think about what you owe on your current loan. The difference is called your equity. The house is selling for $300, and we're appraised at $300, and you owe $200. You got $100,000 in equity there. So these home sales this year were huge. They were so high that most folks gained a ton of equity. And with mortgage interest rates near those all-time low levels, that cash out refinance. Drop your rate, pull out the cash. This year, our average borrower received over $52,000 in cash with a simple, easy cash out refinance. What would you do with $52K? Let's make that a reality. All you have to do, whether you're buying a house or refinancing, jump on my website, thehomeloanexpert.com. I'd love the opportunity to assist. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Ryan Kelly. The home loan expert is a Tennessee residential mortgage licensee. Blaine and Mickey, 104.5 The Zone. Beautiful day in Nashville, Tennessee. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. We appreciate it. Sure do. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to all of you out there. Let's get Bill's call on the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline. Then there's an interesting soundbite from Rashawn Evans talking about confidence level from last year to this year. You will like this if you're a Titans fan. But let's get Bill on first. Bill, thank you for calling.
Hey, thank you guys. Merry Christmas to you, Blaine and Mick. Hey,
Yes, sir.
it's a beautiful day in Middle Tennessee. That's what I tell you guys every time I call, and you're the only show that I call up. I have a couple of things. Well, once again, thank you and Merry Christmas. But just a couple of things to hit on. I run a sports field. It's nothing like football, baseball, basketball, anything like that. And I hate to say this. I don't hate to say it, but it's a paintball field.
Oh.
We have to go out sometimes on occasion and play the team, our opponent, plus the referees. Now, yeah, exactly. I mean, you got to play against sometimes in them referees. But what I am looking at football this year, we are looking at, I think, a new generation of referees coming into the sport, and everybody's depending on that let's look at it again, let's see it again.
Replay.
Where, in the past it was not like that. And now we're having young refs coming in. All the older refs have retired, and hoorah for them. But the other thing I wanted to talk about was, us bringing in Julio Jones and also bringing in Peterson. Where are they at? What are they doing for us? The Titans have spent that much money on them guys. What are they doing? And, Blake, I told you a hamstring is a hard thing to get over, and you know that as well as anybody. It is tough to get over a pulled hamstring. But anyway, brothers, everybody have a good Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I'm going to sit back and listen to you guys. Let's go Titans.
Thank you,
Tighten
Bill.
up.
Yeah, tighten all the way up, Bill.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. What a veteran, guys. I mean, from the beginning, I wasn't a big proponent of Julio Jones as much as I like him as a player. I just think a receiver position in this scheme and system, probably you're not going to get your bang for buck. And he had an injury history. And, I think John Robinson was thinking he can get value for an injured player, and he still gave up a second-round pick. So, and hopefully he could be rejuvenated and stayed healthy. So, unfortunately, he hasn't. It's going to be interesting, conversation after the season based off, just how much is he playing, how much is it worth, and then how much are you locked in that you got to keep him. So that's going to be interesting. And it's always tough when you get, veteran players, especially someone as highly acclaimed and as good as Julio, and still has something to tank. He maybe not a 1, but he's a 1B still. I firmly believe that if he could stay healthy, and hopefully he can get healthy, maybe end of the season or playoffs, or maybe even this game. They're saying it's a possibility he may go.
Wow.
So, that's kind of what they're saying. They're not saying he's out.
Right.
So we shall see. Short week, I wouldn't bet on it. And it's always tough when you're playing the refs. I mean, it's a tough job. Instant replay has really killed it. I think they lean on that, and we'll just go look and kind of go from there. Makes them hesitant. I get it, though.
See him with a little Titan sound. Rashawn Evans, this is from Jim Wyatt earlier today, talking about the confidence level of this year's defense, which is playing lights out. They're in the top 10 now, total defense. They played their way into the top 10. This is Rashawn Evans talking about this year versus last year.
Like it's night and day, and it was one of those things that it took some time to happen. Gradually as we got better individually, you start seeing the defense making more plays, start seeing players, get used to playing with guys that's next on beside them. So, the more and more that we get, games up on our belt, and going late into this season, we're hitting on all cylinders. It feels like so. We just got to continue to be consistent in what we're doing, and once again we got to go against another big challenge against the 49ers, who is a good run offense, and going against these guys is going to be really exciting.
Yep. Titans right now, number 9 in total defense. 49ers, number 6. It's a good 49ers team.
This is
it's a good team.
Really good team.
Yeah.
Man, are the Titans, I think the 49ers are favored, right?
Yeah.
I didn't, man.
It was up to 3.5 points the last time I looked.
I was reading it wrong. Yeah. Man,
3.5.
Ooh. They won 5 of the last 6, right?
Yep.
Really good defense, good running game, scheme. The key will be the defense, unfortunately. How much can they get in Garoppolo's head? That's going to be the key because he can make some throws. He's not the athlete that Tannehill is, but he can make some throws. He has a quick release. They got to get in his head and start, even hitting him, even if he doesn't have the ball, because he gets a little skittish when he starts getting hit, especially in clutch time.
Time for us to hand it off. It's clutch time for us. It's go time. 3HL, they're in Gallatin, right, Lucas? At B-Dubs in Gallatin? Always a fun trip to Gallatin. Yes, sir. So go by and see him. Mark Mariani's going to be hanging out.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Ooh, the return specialist.
If we leave now, we can probably catch him, but we got to go.
In the meantime, in between, and as always on this beautiful day, Mickey, you know it.
We all know it.
Peace.